let's do a sound check real quick. Um, let's see. Let's go to the video. Okay, okay. It's not live yet. All right, not live yet. Um, Give me one. If you can hear me, how y'all doing this evening? Okay, all right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me test the sound. Oh, crap, crap. Okay, all right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me test the sound. Oh, crap, crap. Hold on a second. Second. All right, all right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me test. Oh, crap, crap. Hold on a second. Second. All right, all right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me test. Hello. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hello? 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 Okay, I think I sound better. I'm doing this on my tablet, so okay, I think I sound better. I'm doing this on my tablet. Okay, okay, okay. I definitely sound better. How are y'all doing this evening? This is Who 186 back again with another video. It's been about a month since I've made a video. Let me share this out real quick before I continue, and then we can get going. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Before we start, I do want to give a big congratulations to all of my friends on Twitter, YouTube, social media, whatever. In regards to getting their PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series consoles. Congratulations, hopefully you guys are having fun. I have seen some issues, um, um regarding like console like defective consoles and stuff like that. That's kind of par for the course for new consoles. I saw one video of a guy of a guy at Xbox smoking, but I think that came out to be fake. Um, um, it's just crazy. But for those of you who have them, congratulations. Hopefully you guys are having fun. I'll probably get mine. Um, after like there has to be like in a game. There has to be a game that's like really that grabs me in order for me to buy one. More than likely, it'll probably be Grant the next Gran Turismo game. If that game stays exclusive to the PS5, um, then I'll probably get one then. Um, and I'm more than sharing this, so I'll probably buy one. I'll probably buy one then. Hold on a second, let me finish this. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Tweet. Okay. Okay. There. Just waiting for the to send, and then we can get started. Um, just waiting and waiting. Hold on. Okay, I think it went through. Okay. All right. So we are officially in business. Like I said, how you guys doing? 186 back another video. It's been a little bit. It's been a while. Mainly I just been focusing on life. Um, nothing. Just working and living life. Okay. So overall, I've been doing. It's been, it just haven't really been in the mood to talk gaming all that much. There've been too many other things that have preoccupied my like sports. Like the Heat. I think this is the. I don't think I talked since the Heat made it to the finals. Unfortunately they couldn't beat the Lakers, but it was a phenomenal season after all. Obviously Dolphins are doing well with Tua. Canes. They're I think they're 6-1 for the year, so they're doing well. Had a good run. But overall, like, and plus work and everything like that. I just haven't had time to talk about anything up until okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, AEW is the new is this new wrestling company that was born a friend of and so far they're doing well. Like I ordered their show Full Gear a couple pretty week pretty much. It was a phenomenal show top to bottom. Highly recommend it. For teasing this announcement for a couple months now. Well, no, actually a couple weeks. They do have a in AEW games. If you're not subscribe to them right now. So you get all you need that you need. So talking about their announcement real quick, it was about like a 20-30 minute presentation. Kenny Omega, one of their biggest stars, he's actually competing for the title against John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, in the in a couple weeks for their world title. So he's an avid gamer, avid gamer. You've probably seen him in in some of the Street Fighter tournaments in the past, like the big Evo tournaments in the past. If you've seen the trailer for Cody Travers and Street Fighter 5, he's the one playing Cody who's on the phone. Big time. He's a big time wrestler. One of the best wrestlers in the world. He like I say, he's a big time gamer. So he was the focal presentation. He's the one that presented the game ultimately. You had cameos from Aubrey Edwards, Britt Baker, and Cody Rhodes. I know you guys, if you're a WWE fan, you're definitely familiar with Cody Rhodes. So they did this cool presentation, kind of spoofing Apple, but ultimately they announced essentially three games. Right? They announced the casino game. I think it's called Double or Nothing. That should be out in the winter, later this year. They announced a AEW manager game, which is more like a simulate a game where you're kind of you're put into the hands of a promoter. So pretty much the Tony Khan simulator. You're the promoter, and pretty much you're in charge of the budget and everything like that of the wrestlers. It's more in line. I know WB has one of those like wrestling manager. I know WB has one of those wrestling manager games. You have that, and that's kind of like something that Aubrey Edwards, the referee, she was into. She was really she developed games before she became a referee. Before she got into AEW and became a referee. So that's a big deal for her. That's fine. But what I'm here to talk about is the console game that they're coming out with. This is gonna be for current and next gen. It's gonna be on Xbox One, PS4. I want to say the Switch. I think I think if they had it their way, it would be on the Switch. And plus, you have the new Xbox and PlayStation also that's going to be on there. So they're going for it. This is quite early for a wrestling company to release a game into their existence. If I'm not mistaken, like obviously, they've been in the game for a long time. WWF, they've been in the game for a long time. You know, first game was in the mid to late '80s, definitely on the arcades with WrestleFest and WWE. I think it's Superstars. I want to say, and it goes on and on and on, right? I think their first game was on the Nintendo. That was probably mid to late '80s. If I want to say, um, ECW, their first game was probably 8 or 9 years into their existence, and that game was terrible, by the way. But so this is definitely. Oh, and let me mention TNA Impact. That game I think came out. I want to say it definitely was with Kurt Angle in the game. So I'd probably say it was about 5 years into their existence, maybe longer. So this is definitely the earliest I can think of a promotion is coming out with a video game. Now, like I said, Kenny Omega is a big gamer, big time, and he essentially what he wanted from this game, and they showed a CGI trailer of it, CGI kind of like gameplay trailer of it. I'll talk about that a little bit later. What Kenny Omega said, he pretty much said that he wants it to be a game that's easy to get into and difficult to master. And I think that he also connoted the games like NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, but he also mentioned games like No Mercy, right? And I think a lot of people are thinking, and then a lot of people. I'm assuming, obviously, they're assuming that it's gonna have a heavy No Mercy influence, I'll get into that a little bit later. But the game that I thought of when he said that was actually the old SmackDown games. We're talking pretty much on the original SmackDown, Know Your Role, Just Bring It, and Shut Your Mouth. I consider those to be the old school SmackDown template games, right? The ones made and FY Ukes is the company that is making that is ahead of making this game. And okay, so when he said that, I thought about those games. Now those earlier SmackDown games were very arcadey, but when you look at like the animations of some of, especially the special moves, a lot of those special moves were so supremely animated. A lot of it is because those moves were motion captured, as opposed to a game like No Mercy, which wasn't. But when you look at a game that's a fun that's a like arcadey type game that has like simulation elements to it, I think about is SmackDown. It's those old school SmackDown games. Those are the games that I think about. So and you was the one that made that were primarily made those games. Now it really wasn't until they rebranded themselves into the WWE 2K games where games were mainly involved in developing the game. Now, Ukes were still helping them, but they had left a couple years ago before I think it was WWE 2K19 came out, and them leaving severely hurt that game. You look at the glitches, all the other stuff. It was crazy. But that game was a fucking disaster. So they're gone. I think there were definitely some rumors, circulating that they might get into bed with AEW, and not rush to fruition, right? So they showed out the trailer, and they showed obviously the three characters that were already confirmed. are Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Ida, who's their women's champion. So so work and the graphically the game definitely looks like that WWE Battlegrounds game. It's kind of like their arcadey game that came out with earlier this year. I think it came out here late last year, early this year. I don't remember. It definitely has some similarities to it, but to me, it looks like it kind of had the same graphic stylings that you would see from an evolved version of No Mercy or the Def Jam games. You know what I mean? It definitely like with the big upper bodies that the character models have. Like you said, you really can't get there's not much to really do. It was just like a CGI trailer. I don't think that's gonna be representative of the final gameplay. Obviously, show much. But yeah, so like they announced the game. We don't have a release date or nothing like that. But early. But I think there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about as far as what I want to see in this game, and I have to remember that it's something that I want to it's something that I want to see in this game that makes that makes sense. You have to remember this is their first game, right? This is the first game, and the most important thing, in my opinion, with this AEW game is the fundamentals of the rest of the in ring gameplay. The fundamentals, how you grapple, the strikes, how the strikes work, all that other stuff. That is very, very important to me personally. It's very important to me. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, rules match, steel cage match, inferno match, buried alive match, all the other shit that I heard from the SmackDown community for years." Like that's not what I like. Like add it. That's fine. But the main thing that I want to see from this game is the fundamentals of the in-ring action to be as good as fun as possible. That's what I want to see. If I had to give it the type of like the game like gameplay wise, right? Like you look at some of the most influential games in the history of wrestling games. You look at the Aki Engine games. You look at No Mercy, WrestleMania, WCW, NWO Revenge. Those games, right? Obviously, those games are iconic games. Really some of the best wrestling games of all time. You have that, right? You have that template, right? You have the SmackDown game, and more specifically, I would probably say Here Comes the Pain, right? The game, it definitely the game's not as arcadey as the previous ones. It's not as simulation heavy as the 2K games. Like it's like a perfect blend. It's like a perfect mix of the two. Plus, with the roster, it is what we consider one of the greatest wrestling games of all time, right? For me personally, I think what I would like to see the gameplay that I personally am looking forward to, that I prefer is something along the lines of Fire Pro Wrestling. Now, for those of you who haven't played Fire Pro Wrestling, it's a 2D sprite wrestling game. It's on the PS4, it's on PC. It's one of my favorite games of all. It's one of my favorite wrestling games of all time. The lineage of those games go all the way back to the Nintendo. And maybe I'm not 100% sure, but definitely, every major console you can think of has a Fire Pro Wrestling game. Like PlayStation has one. Sega has a couple. So those are the wrestling games that I like. Now, those games are very, very sim heavy. Very, very sim heavy. It's timing based. It's very sim. Now, if they don't have to go that route, like going heavy sim, they don't have to go in that direction. But like the move, I want to see an extensive move list from this game. Because the wrestlers that AEW has, I'm going to assume they're going to have a big roster, and they should have a big roster. I believe every wrestler that they have on the roster should be in the game, right? And when you have you're gonna have a large move list because some of these guys are phenomenal wrestlers. They have big move lists. So I definitely want to see a huge move list in there. Yeah, right. Now, as far as like it needs to be now. I don't think it should be as flex as the games are. I know. If there's people I follow. Um, shit. Let me look on Twitter right now. Yes. I do want to shout them out because I've seen they do great work in creation and stuff like that. I definitely do follow one of them. Let me see if I can get her name out there perfectly. Okay. Why I look for it? Let me explain what I mean by that. Right. I want to see creation, but I don't think it. I want to see like stuff like pay per view. If they have it, that's cool. If they have it, that's cool. But I want to see is an extensive creator wrestler a creator wrestler mode in there. I think you have to be flexible as far as you have to be flexible when it comes to something like that. I don't mind if they have like a creative belt mode in there. I definitely don't mind that. But as far as you can get like wrestlers in there, you know what I mean? Like as long as you get wrestlers in there, like as long as you get tons of different types of wrestlers and stuff like that, I'm cool with that. I'm more than cool with that. Like you can get like you can if because the one thing that I give the 2K a lot of credit for is that they do have a very creation tool set. You can create cool characters and I found her. I know a lot of cool stuff. I like to Ms. Lady Shook. She on shout out to her. She does some cool WWE edits in WWE 2K. So shout out to her. And I know there's definitely some people who do some cool stuff. So, but when it comes to the creations tool, I think that it should be extensive to the part where you can create pretty much any. Like if I want to from New Japan, I can create him, and it'll look good. You know what I mean? Like it'll look it'll look like that. You know what I mean? I don't expect match that it isn't 2K, but I do expect the creation tool system in place. You know what I mean? And wrestling has a very good one. Like even and the advantage is that since it's sprites, then the character it doesn't have to be like super ultra realistic, but the look of the character of the wrestlers will be right. And plus they also added a creative move thing in Fire Pro as well. I dabbled a little bit in that, but anyways. So yeah, so far, what I want to see. See creation tools. Shit, I forgot the first thing I wanted. But whatever. Okay. What the other thing I want to see is I want to see. Let me see. Okay. When it comes part of the like what I want to see is an extensive for real. Hold on. Let me test it out. Hello. For real. Hold on. Let me test it out. Okay. Hello. Yeah, like my bad. I'm doing this on my tablet, so it's not perfect. But anyway, Nintendo gamer, thank you for watching. All right, so I'll keep for it. Okay, so all right, so what I want the game is. It's funny. I actually remember what I was the first thing I said. And now I forgot again. Oh, F it. Like F it. Like okay. Okay, okay, hold on. Now I hear the distortion. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, hopefully the audio will stay consistent. The other thing I want to see from this game, right? Like you talk about the match types, right? I think you'll definitely see. I think you'll see probably like a cage match like that. You'll definitely see like hardcore matches and stuff like that. If you're going to do it, do it the right way. You know what I mean? What I mean that if you're going to add, if you're gonna have a hardcore match, don't give me like two or three. Okay, let me see. Yeah. I know it's the static. There's nothing I can do about the static. But I'm definitely excited for this game. I'm definitely excited for this game. I'm a big AEW fan. So yeah. So I mean, all right. So back to what I was saying. Like, if you're going to do like hardcore matches and stuff like that, you have to do it. You have to do it. Like give us a variety of weapons. Give us a ways to use the weapons. If you're going to do it, AEW better. I think it is. I mean, it's a lot better than Raw, and I think it's better than SmackDown. Some good SmackDown. But if you want the real comparison between what AEW is offering and like they come out at the same day, same 8 to 10 on Wednesdays. So some people will like it more, some people will like will like AEW more, but both of them are great shows. So I personally prefer AEW over WWE as a whole. But yeah. So like if you're going, like I said, if you're going to do a hardcore match, do it correct. You know what I mean? Give us a way to do moves, and stuff like that. If they're going to, right. Like I don't want it to be. If you're going to do it, then like if it was up to me, would would I would I add them? Yeah, I would. I would because it is a part of AEW. Like some of the more infamous matches, some of the more famous matches have been hardcore matches. You know what I mean? And like that. So yeah. So I would add them. Regarding like ladder matches, steel cage matches. I said if you can add them, that's fine. Most important thing is like the basic in ring when it comes to and when it comes to like regular wrestling, like that's the most important thing. But the one thing that I don't know if WB has, I don't know if 2K WB 2K has this. The one thing that I want to see is I want to see a rules modifier in the options menu. What I mean by that is give us the option if you want to if you want to do a 10 count or a 20 count, right? If you want to do let me see, if you want to do if you want to do a submission match that is rope breaks or you turn rope breaks off or stuff like that, like something like that, so you can create like your own match types with the with the rules modifier, right? That's what I want to see. You can do that in Fire Pro. I want to say you can do it in WWE, but I haven't had much experience with the 2K games over the years. But that's what I want to see. I want to see something like a match a match creator, but something that's more like that's more than that. You know what I mean? Like if you have like create like a first blood match or whatever. I guess that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it needs a singular mode per se, but do a first. You should create that and create a creation and a match creator. You know what I mean? Let me see what else would I want to see. I think overall like let me see. Like I said, like decoration. I do a belt creator, create your belt. Let me see what else. I think that's about it. Like for real, like that it. Like we need to know more information on. We need more information on the game. We just need more just more more ideas about what they want to do. Like what's number of people in the ring at once. I think ideally is probably 6. It's probably the best option for as far as like how many wrestlers you want in the ring. I'd probably say 6 is the perfect number for me. If they go to 8, that's fine. 10 and up seems like too much to me. It's too much in my opinion. As far as like how many people inside the ring at one time. But ideally, it would probably be 6. Let me see. I definitely want a career mode or season mode. One of those two, or both. Really, just both. Like a career mode would be like you create a wrestler, you go through a story, you go through a storyline modes and stuff like that. With your creator wrestler, I definitely want to see that. A season in a season mode is where I would blend season mode and probably like a wrestling manager type where you get to run a regular season of AEW. You know what I mean? Like you have you'll control the wrestler and what they do, what storylines they get into and stuff like that. Like I know something like that. So something else would be fine too. You know what I mean? Like with some of the older SmackDown. You tend to create a wrestler and their main goal win a world cup. Like not realistic for everybody. You want to see. Personally, I want to see more. If you have a season mode, you participate as one wrestler. If you want to go for the TNT title, yeah, that's fine. You can do a storyline with that. Or if you want to do like you want to go with a tag team title, you can do that as well. That was their selling point with N64 games back in the day. And the most important news that came out was that the producers of No Mercy. Let me see if I can get his name. I know his nickname is Geta. Let me get his full name. Let me get his full name. Head. Okay. Let me try to pronounce it. Okay. Hideyuki Iwashida. I got that correct. At least I hope so. He's the one that he was the director of No Mercy. He also I think played a part in like the Def Jam game, which I really liked. That I also really liked too. So he was definitely a part of that. So he's on board with with the AEW, and to me that's important. That's important to me because it shows me that they're serious about making wrestling games. Like years ago with TNA Impact, I was excited for the game until I found out who was making the game, and I think at the time it was Acclaim that was making the game, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Like I'm not buying this game because at the time was a company that was was in a down on a decline, and they weren't. Oh no, my fault. It was Midway. It was Midway, and like I said, Midway. Like that company, they were making sketchy games. Like they weren't making great games or nothing like that. So I knew that game was not going to be good. And then you look at the the gameplay of it. Like it's like the game just it didn't appeal to me. But when you get someone with that pedigree in charge of the product, and Ukes do make good wrestling games. They've made they made the SmackDown games. They also were involved with some of the Japanese versions of those games. Like I know, I not care, but they've made some Japanese games, Japanese wrestling games. Let me see. Hold on a second. How do the current wrestling games compare to 7th and 5th gen wrestling games? There just haven't been that many. They really haven't been that many. And back in the day, back in those gens, like you had WCW, you had WNWO Revenge. On the PlayStation they had WCW versus the World. You had WWF Warzone. I think WWF Attitude. I mean, you had and plus you also still had you had to import the games, but you had Fire for Wrestling as well. And nowadays you really only have WWE 2K. Like the wrestling market, like just like wrestling has had a sharp decline from the late 90s, early 2000s. Wrestling games follow suit. You know what I mean? Like you don't have the same wrestling doesn't appeal that it did back in like the in-ring wrestling is a lot better back in the 90s, but you don't have the same appeal, you don't have the same character, you don't have the same it doesn't have the same that it had back in the day. Really? Well, part of it is let me see. Hold on, let me repeat. I do have my phone. Like the way I'm looking at the comments is through my phone, and I do have the volume up a little bit because I want to hear if I'm being. So no, I don't know if I'm picking that up. But I'll mute that. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of like in a pinch right now. Like I really didn't have time to get my laptop set up, so I'm just doing this on my tablet. So next time I just did out like it's up on my tablet, but like I said, the sound isn't the greatest. So yeah. Like if you're who is nostalgic, if you're into the old school retro gaming and stuff like that, I would give some of the older wrestling a try if you haven't played them. No, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of bad wrestling games like period. Like there's a lot of obviously the WCW Nitro is a shitty game. Thunder is a shitty game. The Warzone and Attitude were not good games either. Like they weren't great games. But if you're into retro gaming and you have an opportunity to play some of these wrestling games, here I think you should play. Right? Like you said, Nintendo Gamer. I know you played No Mercy and stuff like that. Like those are top of the line wrestling games, right? But if you played any of the Def Jam, the original Def Jam game and Fight for New York. Now, Fight for New York is not really a wrestling game; it's more of a fighting game. But it's a phenomenal it's a phenomenal game. Like it really is a phenomenal game. Like I love that game, and I was worried about it too because I like the original Def. The original Def is more wrestling focused. But if they can somehow use that engine, the Aki engine, for this new AEW game, then that would hype people up for it, right? That would definitely up for it because that engine is phenomenal. So I would give if you have access to a PlayStation 1, try out the SmackDown game. One more so, know your role. That's a bigger, more expensive game. It's a bigger game than the original SmackDown. I would definitely get I'll definitely give that a try. Definitely if you have an opportunity to play wrestling, I would definitely give that game a try. But it's a sim heavy, very sim heavy. It's not for casual fans. It's a very sim heavy. So I'll definitely give that one a try. And there's some others as well. Let me read the comment. Oh yeah, that was part of the reason why I stopped watching, was because the storyline were kind of dry. But yeah. I stopped really into wrestling up until like 2010. I mean that's when I kind of I was a big fan of Impact at the time. Impact, and then the show being stupid and stuff like that. There, it was just in WWE, and I've been over watching WWE. But there were some wrestlers that I still like over there, so I continue to watch. But I do want to say that it really was AEW that rekindled. It was WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling that really rekindled my love for pro wrestling. So like I said, it'll ever be where in the Attitude Era anymore. But there's still you can still find great wrestling matches if you're committed in the storylines that are happening, at least in NXT and AEW. Like a Full Gear pay-per-view was fun. Loved it. There were tons of story continuity, stuff like that. Because with wrestling, let's be real, soap opera, right? Like wrestling is a soap opera. It's soap opera for men and women, and all you want is to be able to follow what's going on in the story, right? All you really want, you just don't want to feel stupid watching wrestling, right? And there are definitely years when I'm at work, and there's TV wrestling on, and you see something that's dumb, that makes no sense, that's not funny, and you're like, you kind of have to put your head down and keep it moving. But yeah, man, like at its best, wrestling is a great thing to watch. I'm telling you. Let's see. Yeah. So okay, all right. That's cool. Like I said, I think Shut Your Mouth is on the PS1. I forgot to mention, Shut Your Mouth. Just bring it is okay, but Shut Your Mouth, Here Come the Pain, they're frames. But yeah, man. But overall, I mean, pretty much like I said, the main thing, and I'll with this, the main thing about I want to see with this AEW game is the in ring gameplay top notch, right? Like that's what's important to me. When you get the gameplay right, then you can start adding. Then I will be okay with adding more stuff, if you want to add something wacky like Inferno matches and all that other stuff. That's fine. All those crazy match types, I'm fine with that. But you have to make sure that the core gameplay is really good. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So I mean that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to you, Nintendo Gamer. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.